Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutair Mahadbhyayama Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yatamushu Purusha Bhunte Gunam Prodashatmaka Solang Krisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Kathamritam Satatapivatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Pantanam Sarvaloke Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloke Rishideva Janna Prasannam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9, Mother Yaśodā Binds Lord Kṛṣṇa, text number 22. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet. नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय कृष्णस्तु गृहकृत्येषु व्यग्रायां मातरि प्रभुः अद्राक्षी अर्जुनो पूर्वं गुह्यको धनात्मजो. Translation by His Loving Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. While Mother Yaśodā was very busy with household affairs, the Supreme Lord Krishna observed twin trees known as Yamala-arjuna, which in former millennium had been demigod sons of Kuvera. Word to word. Krishna tu, in the meantime, graha krityeshu, in engagement in household affairs. Vyagrayam, very busy. Matari, when his mother. Prabhuhu, the Lord. Adrakshit, observed. Arjuna, the twin Arjuna trees. Purvam, before him. Guhyako, which in former millennium had been demigods. Dhana Atmajo, the sons of Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods. So in this word, we see the significant words in this verse, Dhana Atmajo. That Dhana means wealth and Atmajo means sons of. So these two, Nalkaver and Manikri, they were sons of a very rich father. And now the second part of the Damodar Lila will take its turn and twist when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom no one can bind, but has been bound by the love of Mother Yaśodā, because she was thinking of his welfare, that if my son runs into the forest, other animals there will harm him. So I should be the protector, and I should just bind him so that he does not cause any more disturbances and he remains safe within the confinements of the courtyard. So this is how the devotee binds the Lord with their love, care, and affection. And Mother Yaśodā is the pinnacle of the emotions experienced through Vatsalya, that is the love in parenthood. No one can surpass the love of Mother Yaśodā, as has been explained by previous verses, that no Lakshmi, no Lord Brahma, no Lord Shiva, Mother Yaśodā surpassed all these great personalities in terms of her spontaneous love and devotion, love and care for Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Kṛṣṇa. To her, Krishna was her son and nothing else, and she was in a superior position, acting as her protector. Text number 23. Pura Narada Shapena Vrikshatam Prapito Madat Nalkuvara Manigriva Iti Khyato Shriyavito. Translation. In their former birth, these two sons, known as Nalkuvara and Manigriva, were extremely opulent and fortunate. But because of pride and false prestige, they did not care about anyone, and thus Narad Muni cursed them to become trees. So Shukdev Goswami is speaking this to Parikshit Maharaj. Let's look at word to word. Pura, formerly, Narada Shapena, being cursed by Narad Muni. Now this is very astonishing, because we hardly hear that Narad Muni has cursed anyone. Narad Muni is the embodiment of compassion. So if Narad Muni has cursed someone, then it should have a very, very significant and important reason that why he is cursed. Vrikshatam, the forms of trees. So Narad Muni cursed them to be trees. Prapito, obtained. Mada, because of madness. Here in the translation, Srila Prabhupada has said that because of pride and false prestige, they did not care about anyone. So this word madat has few meanings. Madat, because of pride, mad, and false prestige. Mada also means madness, because the intelligence is destroyed. Mada also means intoxication. So intoxication of the pride of wealth causes insanity in a living entity. And who were these persons full of pride and false prestige? Nalkuvara. One of them was Nalkuvara, Manigrivo, and the other was Manigriva. Iti, thus, Khyato, well known, Shriyanvito, very opulent. So, cursed by Narad Muni. And who were cursed by Narad Muni. Hare Krishna, can everyone hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. The connection is a little bit shaky, but it's okay.
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you.
Thank you. So, thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of 10th Canto, 9th chapter of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, titled Mother Yaśodā Binds Lord Kṛṣṇa. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we move on to the next chapter? Okay, let's move to the next. Let's move to the next chapter. The next chapter is titled Deliverance of the Yamala-arjuna Trees. So now Parikshit Maharaj will be asking question. Shri Rajo Vacha Kathayatam Bhagavan Etad Tayoshapasya Karanam Yattad Vigarhitam Karma Yenava Devarishestamaha. Synonyms. Shri Raja Uvacha, the king further inquired, Kathayatam, please describe, Bhagavan, O supremely powerful one. Etat, this, Tayoho, of both of them, Shapasya, of cursing, Karanam, the cause. So Narad Muni hardly curses. And therefore, this question by Parikshit Maharaj is very appropriate and befitting. Why? What did these two do that caused Narad Muni to curse them? Yat, which, tat, that, vigarhitam, abominable, karma, act. So what abominable act did they perform that Narad Muni had to curse them? Yena, by which, va, ida, devarishehe, tamaha, the great sage Narada became so angry. Translation by His Loving Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. King Parikshit inquired from Shukdev Goswami, O great and powerful saint, what was the cause of non-kuberas and money grievers having been cursed by Narada Muni? What did they do that was so abominable that even Narada, the great sage, became angry at them? Kindly describe this to me. And now Shukdev Goswami is replying. Shri Shukavacha Rudrasyanu bhutva Sudripto dhanat atmajo Kailasopavane ramye Mandakinyam madon kato Varunim madiram pitva Madagurnitalochano Strijanairanugayadbhis Cheratu pushpite vane. Translation by His Loving Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, because the two sons of Kubera had been elevated to the association of Lord Shiva, of which they were very much proud, they were allowed to wander in the garden attached to Kailasha hill on the bank of the Mandakini river. Taking advantage of this, they used to drink a kind of liquor called Varuni, accompanied by women singing after them. They would wander in the garden of flowers, their eyes always rolling in intoxication. Word to word. Shri Shukavacha, Shri Shukdev Goswami replied, Rudrasya, of Lord Shiva, Anucharo, two great devotees or associates, Bhutva, being elevated to that post, Sudripto, being proud of that position and their beautiful bodily features. Dhanada Atmajo, the two sons of Kubera, treasurer of the demigods. Kailasa Upavane, in a small garden attached to Kailasa Parvata, the residence of Lord Shiva. Ramye, in a very beautiful place. Mandakinyam, on the river Mandakini. Mada Utkato, terribly proud and mad. Varunim, a kind of liquor named Varuni. Madiram, intoxication. Pitva, drinking. Mad aghurnital lochano, their eyes rolling with intoxication. Stri janaihi, with women. Anugayadibhi, vibrating songs sung by them, Cheratuhu wandered Pushpite Vane in a nice flower garden. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Would anyone like to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
This verse mentions some of the material advantages afforded to persons associated with or devoted to Lord Shiva. Apart from Lord Shiva, if one is a devotee of any other demigod, one receives some material advantages. Foolish people, therefore, become devotees of demigods. This has been pointed out and criticized by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 7.20. Kamestes jnana prapadyante devataha. Those who are not devotees of Krishna have a taste for women, wine, and so forth, and therefore they have been described as Hrita Jnana, bereft of sense. The Krishna consciousness movement can very easily point out such foolish persons, for they have been indicated in Bhagavad Gita 7.15, where Lord Krishna says, Namam dushkritino mudhaha prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya pravrita jnana asuram bhavamashitaha. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Anyone who is not a devotee of Krishna and does not surrender to Krishna must be considered Naradham, the lowest of men, and Dushkriti, one who always commits sinful activities. Thus, there is no difficulty in finding out who is a third class or fourth class man, for one's position can be understood simply by this crucial test. Is he or is he not a devotee of Krishna? Why are devotees of the demigods greater in number than the Vaishnavas? The answer is given herein. Vaishnavas are not interested in such fourth class pleasures as wine and women, nor does Krishna allow them such facilities. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So as Srila Prabhupada would say, we are selling diamonds, but not everyone is wealthy enough to spend for diamonds. And therefore, the market of diamonds is less. Similarly, the most precious gem is the pure love and devotional service for Krishna. And not everyone is ready for that. People are very, very easily allured by Janma, good birth or parentage, Aishwarya, an opulent life, a life of beauty, a life of wealth, and Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, a life of education, being proud of their qualifications, maybe a doctor, professor, engineer, so forth, and Shrivir, and a life where one is very wealthy. Now, of all kinds of things that cause pride, it is mentioned by Narad Muni a bit later on that the pride and the intoxication of the wealth is greatest. And these two, being the devotees or followers, here it is described by the words Anucharo. Anucharo means the two great devotees or associates. Literally, Anucharo means one who follows. So these two were followers of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is always absorbed in meditation of his worshipable Lord Shri Krishna. And when the materialist inclined people, they approach Lord Shiva for some material benefit, then Lord Shiva becomes a bit disturbed, quite disturbed. Therefore, to get rid of them, he quickly awards them the benedictions. so that they can stop bothering him. Similarly, spiritual master is here to remove the misery of the disciple. The misery of the disciple is what? That one is caught in the clutches of birth, death, old age, and disease. This is the main problem of life. The spiritual master is not supposed to give benediction that may you be wealthy, may you have a very good marriage life, may your children be very intelligent. All these benedictions are of no value because with the end of body, such facilities will end. However, one will be born again if one does not elevate their consciousness to Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the proper diagnosis and treatment that the spiritual master gives is that for such a long time you have been away from Krishna. What are you doing? What are you making out of this life? Once Srila Prabhupada was going out from New Vrindavan, and he saw a person there in the potato plantation. And the car stopped, he lowered his window, and he asked, "What are you doing?" And the person replied, "I'm planting potatoes." So Srila Prabhupada paused, and then he asked, "No, I mean, what are you doing with your life?" So similarly, what are we doing with our lives? We, for some temporary benefit, so that we can have an opulent life, we are neglecting our spiritual priority. Our business is one, to wrap up and get out of this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. And how much of our time we are allocating towards that most important thing, that most important priority. And because we are not doing that, we are all pramatta, insane. And this is one kind of intoxication. And these two children of Kuvera, Nal Kuver and Manigriva, who ought to have known, because they're the sons of demigods, they ought to have known the value of life. But they, on one hand, were intoxicated with pride of wealth. And then on the other hand, they were double intoxicated with Varunim, Madiram, Vitva, drinking of the Varunil Lekha. And when a person is drunk, they have no sense of what is right, what is wrong. And invariably, they will always do the wrong things. But their good fortune that they are about to see and witness is that they'll be coming in touch with the pure devotee of the Lord, Narad Muni. And when the pure devotee of the Lord comes in our lives, then he, Mokshadwaram Mapavrita, opens the doors of liberation in our lives. And then we can see things as they are. Then we can really understand, yes, the life is meant to end the real problem. The real problem is not a problem of wealth, it's not a problem of marriage, it's not the problem of mortgage, it's not the problem of some disease that we may be having. Diseases will come, go, diseases will come to take us finally. But the real problem of life is not to come back in this material world. And how we can solve that problem, that is the real direction that the spiritual master gives. And it is very, very easy. What is it? A simple solution. Just reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, under the guidance of a spiritual master, and following the instructions in these scriptures. The main instructions and the main endeavor for this yuga being chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama eva kevalam, kalau nastaiva, nastaiva, nastaiva gatir anyatha. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way at all except for the holy names of Lord Hari, except for the holy names of Lord Hari, and except only for the holy names of Lord Hari. And this sublime method directly uplifts our consciousness, surpassing sensual platform, mental platform, surpassing even intellectual platform. And it directly connects us with the Supreme Lord. If at all we need to be intoxicated, we need to be intoxicated by the holy names of the Lord. If at all we need to be intoxicated, we should be intoxicated by hearing the beautiful pastimes of Radha, Krishna, and all the devotees in Srīmad, as given in Srīmad Bhāgavatam. Very nicely, Srīmad Bhāgavatam says that one who rejects the popular stereotype but beastly ways of the material world, lokamscha lokanugatam pasumscha, and hitva, they give up this beastly life of the general population out there who are running like cats and dogs, and they take shelter, these devotees who have been touched by spiritual masters and spiritual persons, hitva shitaste charanata patram, having rejected the material ways, they take shelter of the umbrella of the lotus feet of Krishna. And parasparam tvad siddhu, and amongst themselves, like we have been doing, this like-minded association of devotees, we are parasparam, exchanging with each other the intoxicating nectar of Krishna's qualities and pastimes. Piyusha niryapita deha dharma. And when we drink this nectar, then all our material attachments and all the bodily requirements which are material, they all will be extinguished completely. So this Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said, will save humanity in its darkest hour. And personally, on individual basis, we can take to this process, and collectively we can come together so that this message spreads far and wide and humanity at large benefits. Thank you so much, Prabhus and Matajis. I've gone a bit over time. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
We just celebrated Diwali, and we all know that Lord Krishna and Ganesh and Lakshmi they are worshipped on Diwali. Everybody worships them. So how far this is correct? Should we as Vaishnavas worship them on Diwali, or just stick to worshipping Krishna?
So as in the purport of this verse, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that kamaiste te hitagyana pravadyante anya devata. That why they worship these deities, Lakshmi and Ganesha, because actually their intelligence has been stolen by their personal desire. And therefore anya means others. Ananya means not others but Krishna. So Srīmad Bhāgavatam in short says that even if one has desire, one need not approach any other demigod. Why? Because the demigod may be able to fulfill that desire, but that demigod may not be able to release one from the bondage that entanglement of that desire causes. For example, in Srīmad Bhagavad Gita, it is said, those who worship demigods, they enjoy the heavenly pleasures, but that has an expiry date. And when that date expires, then again, they fall down to the material plane, to the material world. Shine punye martyalokam vishanti. Evam tri dharmam anuprapanna gata gata kama kama labhanto. So again, they go in the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. However, Srimad Bhagavatam says that if one is of broader intelligence, udarati, whether they be full of desires, no material desires, or they have desire for liberation, yajeta purusham param, they will only worship the Purusham Param, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. So one actually does not need to do this worship. However, from the cultural point of view, the family tradition has been coming down. So just to keep peace in the family, a devotee may just as a purpose of ritual do it. But their heart is not in there. Their heart is only Ekam Devo Devaki Putra Eva, only on the son of Devaki, Sri Krishna. A Vaishnava's heart is nowhere else except for the lotus feet of Krishna. So for the cultural aspect, one may do it, but a devotee's heart is never in there, in that place. Is that okay, Mataji? You have a follow-up clarification question?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.